हेलो सैसी नारी, थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग मी टुडे। मैं पॉडकास्ट पे तो बहुत लोगों से बातें कर लेती हूँ, पर नए लोगों से इन पर्सन मिलना, बात करना और टच में रहना मेरे लिए आसान नहीं है। आई फील ऑकवर्ड एंड एंग्शियस कि पता नहीं हाउ विल द अदर पर्सन परसीव मी। विल दे थिंक आई एम क्लिंगी और मे बी आई एम ट्राइंग टू सेल समथिंग, या मुझे उनसे कोई फेवर चाहिए, और भी न जाने कितना सोच लेती हूँ। सो इन शॉर्ट, networking is difficult for me, and I know many women who struggle with it. So obviously, I had to bring the best person here to give us networking advice without any BS. I present to you Shaan Khanna, the award-winning founder of Networking Now India and Spicy Sangria. She has been in the event space for over a decade. Networking Now India is a vibrant community designed to elevate your networking game and unleash the full potential of your business. It's a thriving network of entrepreneurs and freelancers who gather twice a month in Mumbai to exchange ideas, forge meaningful connections, and learn from industry experts. Shaan has an unmatched perspective on the industry. She is your go-to person for everything happening in the media industry, and if you want to dive deep into issues faced by small businesses and MSMEs. She says that we all need to network, चाहे हम जॉब या बिजनेस में हो या फिर होम मेकर्स हों. Networking also goes beyond just work because it helps in healing our anxieties. Now, here's what we discuss in this episode. What does networking mean to Shaan? How to start networking? How to prep yourself mentally before an event? What to do at an event? A few conversation starters. How to politely move on from one person to the other? How to mix business with networking without the ick? No-nos of networking? What does success in networking look like? Things to always remember about networking. तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा takeaways हैं, and I suggest you to take notes if you can. Before jumping into the episode, please follow Little Fixes on your podcast app, rate us, and share the episode with a friend. Hey Sassy Nari, welcome to Little Fixes. This is Maitri, a social media professional, a wife, and a mother. Marriage is one of the biggest steps we take. And on this podcast, we discuss finding ourselves after happily ever after. थोड़े ideas, थोड़े rants और बहुत सारा food for thought. Join me and my guest because we get you. And now to our guest. Hi Shaan, welcome to Little Fixes.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here.
This is a topic which scares me. Literally scares me. Networking scares me. Okay. So I am looking forward to talk about it and learn a lot of things from you. So first of all, Shaan, tell us, what is networking to you?
Metri, networking to me is exactly the opposite of what people think about. I have so many people that come and tell me, Shaan, I need to network. I need to put time aside to network. I need to add it in my schedule. People are like, I have made my goals for June and July that for 2 hours a day, I'm going to network and meet new people. That is absolutely not networking. According to me, networking is building a relationship, building a friendship. Today, what you and I are doing is networking. You and I connected through a person who connected the both of us through a social platform. We checked out what each other do. You wanted to interview me for your podcast. We have something, we have a connect now, and we will build on that in the coming years. Tomorrow, I know somebody that could be on your podcast and would be good. I'd suggest them to you. You know somebody that could be part of my network. You'll suggest them to me. You're in Bombay, we'll catch up for a coffee. This is networking. It's about building a relationship with somebody that you don't know. It is not about calculating, where they come from, what they do, what they can bring to the table, what they can give you, how much money you can make off them. That is absolutely not networking. So for me, it's about building a strong relationship. It's about years of nurturing a friendship, nurturing a relationship with somebody that either started through work or through a common connection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then why nurture it, Shaan? Because अभी कोई सुनेगा तो यही सोचेगा कि कोई डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट नहीं हो रहा, बिकॉज मोस्ट पीपल लुक एट इट एज अ ट्रांजैक्शन कि
Of
मैं
course.
तुम्हारी हेल्प करूँ तुम मेरी हेल्प करो. तो फिर अगर आपके लिए नेटवर्किंग ये है ही नहीं, तो फिर क्यों करनी है नेटवर्किंग?
Sorry. Great question. For me, why people network? Firstly, don't think about the why. Don't think about what you're going to gain from it. Think about building a strong network, building a strong group of people that can be your work tribe. I like to call it in a fun way your work tribe, your work group of people. Network is your network that you built, and why you begin to network in the first place is to grow your knowledge, to grow your area of expertise, to learn from people things they don't know. For example, before we started this interview, I told you, Maitri, I'm so tech challenged. Please give me a minute. You know exactly how to run the podcast, how to put your sound on, how to get the whole. You sent me the link. You know that. So today I'm learning something from you. Tomorrow I ever want to learn this, I will come to you. So it's about building people who have an expertise in a different area. It's if you're stuck in a certain area of your work and you want to learn something or you want to connect, you will actually call these people. And it's about building friends outside of your friend circle. So, we make friends in school, we make friends in college, we make friends through friends. But making a group of work friends is building your network, making a group of people that can help you in areas where, it's not about your breakup or your bad days in your personal life, but it's about, I had this conundrum at work. How do I solve it? You also run a company. Let's chat about it. Founder to founder. How do I market my business on a budget? How do I scale up my business? How did you do it? You run a podcast, tell me more. Or, like I love to do this one thing, Metri, is when I travel to different cities, I love to catch up with other founders. I just love to see what they do differently in their city. I think that's it. It's about learning and knowledge sharing, really.
ओके देन हु शुड नेटवर्क? आप बोल रहे हो कि ये आपकी वर्क में आपकी ग्रोथ में हेल्प करता है, तो क्या सिर्फ जो लोग जॉब में है या बिजनेस में है उनके लिए ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल है?
Very, very good question. Anyone should network. Any and everyone should network. Networking is not only for people who want to do a business transaction. It's not about you gave me 10,000, I gave you 20,000. Networking is for anyone. It could be, even housewives sit at home, but they build a network. They have a group of friends. It's all about building your community. Today there are WhatsApp groups where people discuss where to get a good nanny, where to get a referral of a good maid, where to get a good house help. This is also networking in a way. You're finding your community and tribe of people that you want to talk to and who have similar interests with as you and similar needs. So networking is for everybody. How you networking how you network differs for what your end goal of your networking is. For example, for me, I build a very strong network and community of startups, entrepreneurs, founders, people are looking to build their business, people looking to kickstart their business. So for me, my network would be a small business, mid-sized business owner, and anyone that can teach me anything. Anyone that I interact with becomes part of my network, and I continue to nurture it. But for each and every person, what your end goal and need is, that's where you decide how to build your network and who to build it with. Now think about it. Maitri, all of us have done internships. We've all done jobs before we actually decided what we want to do. The question is, those people that you actually met in your job, your internship, your desk mate, your friend you had lunch with, these are all part of your network. Today they move on to a company and you're looking for a job switch. One LinkedIn post, one message, one WhatsApp, and one meet over a coffee, and it's done.
Yeah, very true. And I really want to learn how to nurture. But first, let's start, how to kick off our networking journey, so to say.
One is you literally start with no agenda. Maitri, this is for me. I wish I could flash it everywhere. Have zero agenda while networking. Networking is like making a friend. It's like going for a coffee with someone you don't know, with a stranger, and just getting to know them and getting to know what they do, why they do, how they started, what their future plans are for their business, where do they see themselves in 5 years. Have that first coffee. Have zero agenda. There are people who go with a list. I'm like, forget your list at home. Pretend like you're going for a coffee with a friend. Okay? Have a nice coffee with a friend. Get to know about them, ask questions, be curious, talk about yourself, talk about the experiences you've had. That's where you begin. If you're a small or mid-sized business owner and you find it tough to pay heavy bills on networking groups, join any free networking groups you can. Today, many people are building free communities on WhatsApp, many people are building free communities on Discord, on Facebook. Join as many as you can. Leave the ones that add no value into your life, but try to be a participant in the free networking groups. Leave your comments, leave your introductions, ask questions, let them know what you're looking for. This is important. Now, if you can go one step further and even join the paid networking groups, join. For example, my networking now membership is 4,000 for the whole year. I've purposely kept it at a cheaper side because people, of course, pay for their events when they come. But I want it to be accessible to any business owner who literally says, I'm starting out. What do I do? Where do I get my social media person? But it's about finding reliable sources. It's about people that have your best interest and finding your work tribe. Then you move on to the most serious networking. Of course, mine is serious networking as well, but I meant to say like the bigger groups where you have to attend on a weekly, you have to attend on a monthly basis, you have to find your forum, you need to constantly give your forum work. These are also there. So I think, like I always say in my classes, choose the networking group that works for you. Basis your time commitment, your budget, the kind of business that you do. See that you will actually gain, and you're not just wasting your time. So I don't only mean gain monetarily, but I also mean gain through knowledge, through exchange of ideas, through meeting new people, learning from other people. So start small, but start somewhere and join as many free resource groups as you can. Trust me, they make a huge difference.
हम्म। ओके। और अभी ऑनलाइन भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें होने लग गई हैं नेटवर्किंग में, और इन पर्सन इवेंट्स तो हैं ही। तो डू यू थिंक वन मीडियम इज बेटर देन द अदर?
Honestly, for me, and I'm a bit old school, Maitri. For me, offline is the way to go, because I do feel face to face. Like, I love the fact that you wanted to do a call with me before the podcast. You know, we broke the ice. We kind of just I got a kind of glimpse into who Maitri is, where she's going with her podcast, what she wants to know about me. For me, face to face, voice to voice, this makes a huge difference. Though online networking is great. For example, I have so many people in our networking group sitting in like Indore or Delhi. We don't do many events in Delhi, or even sitting in you know Singapore, for example. But we don't do any many events in Singapore. We do it once a year. So the idea is that they also still meet people from the Bombay network and the India network, and whenever they come here, they catch up for a coffee. So I do encourage this, because a lot of people like to work with people sitting anywhere. It really doesn't matter. Today we've seen that after COVID, I was working with people sitting in America. My social media head, my social media and my brand manager, she's my everything for my brand, she sits in Boston, and it works. It's 5 years now. So I really don't think that we should say that online networking doesn't work. It works. It's a big plus. Honestly, leave your comments, your introductions on every group you can, be it Facebook, be it WhatsApp. If somebody asks, pitch. They may not take your work instantly, but your name will be there, and you'll be recognized within people that are looking for that kind of work. Also, the nicest thing you can do is Zoom calls and Zoom one-on-ones with people, because just touching base and seeing, putting a face to the name, and then they'll remember you for work in the future, makes a difference. But for me, I'm still a bit old school, and for me, offline networking, I try to go to as many events as I can. I try to host as many events as I can, because for me, seeing the person and their vibe and that energy is something I really click with.
हम्म। वाओ, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। आई थिंक यस, ऑनलाइन मिलना अलग चीज़ है, लेकिन जब आप इन पर्सन मिलते हो तो दैट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट वाइब।
Very
और
different.
आई थिंक यू फील मोर कनेक्टेड ऑल्सो व्हेन यू मीट समवन इन
And
पर्सन।
Maitri, absolutely what you said, you'll remember the person. Like, I remember my face, trustworthy. This person's come often. Like, I know in my networking group, Maitri, the people who are serious. Not that they've come once or twice and then they've run away. Or they've come once and then they'll come once 6 months later. No, it's about seriously building the rapport, the connections, the group, the tribe. They want to.
या यस यस। तो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन था कि अपने आप को मेंटली कैसे प्रिपेयर करें, बट बिफोर दैट नाउ आई वांट टू नो योर जर्नी। आई थिंक नेटवर्किंग नाउ इज 10 years old नाउ।
Yeah, I would say like the digital group, I think about 8 years. I had the digital groups for about 3 years,
ओके।
after which
ओके,
I
तो
started the.
हाँ, व्हाई डिड यू स्टार्ट दिस एंड वर यू ऑलवेज लाइक कि हाँ नेटवर्किंग करनी चाहिए इसलिए स्टार्ट करना है? वर यू लाइक एन एक्सट्रोवर्ट, बिकॉज वी एसोसिएट मीटिंग न्यू पीपल वेरी ओपनली विद extrovert people, or were you a different personality and you changed? So tell us about you.
Very good question. I think for me, I've always been an extrovert. I'll be honest, though, Maitri, many people don't know this about me. I am pretty shy. I am somebody that actually, like, if you put me in a room, yeah, I could definitely navigate the room, and I have those extrovert qualities. But it takes me a minute or two. Like, there are times when I also can clamp up and stand in the corner. So I love how I shout from the rooftops that you need to meet people and go for events and network and introduce yourself. But listen, it's like, it's quite like nerve wracking for everybody. It's not child's play. So I started Maitri, because so firstly I was in Cathedral, then I went to Jahind, I did BMM, and then I did a couple of internships. I did about 9 internships, and after which I started working with my mom. She does events, and she's done luxury events all her life, and I learned the full ropes of doing events through her, luckily, and very grateful and touchwood for that. After which I really realized, because I met so many entrepreneurs and new business owners who were constantly lost. They got duped by a social media agency, they got duped by a branding agency, some printer ne paisa liya, never gave the prints, or some person quoted them 3 lakhs where the job could have been done in 30,000. So this is when I was like, hey, I want to start a forum where people can just openly be like, hey, listen, I need this done, but I want it trustworthy through someone. My friends used to constantly call me up and say, Shaan, where can we get this printed, where can we get this gift done, can you help us get a reservation over here? And I was like, listen, I'm fed up of this. Now let's make it a forum. And that's when I started a Facebook group. And the Facebook group was free, but it could only be friends and friends of friends. So you had to come recommended by somebody to join. And then I did my first offline event. And I was still working with my mom, doing events with her on the side. We do something called Spicy Sangria, also, which is a trade show for designers. After which, I did my first offline event at Social. I remember with I had the founder of Swedish House Mafia, Neha Sethi, founder of Packapao, Rohan Manglokar, and one more person speaking. I'm forgetting right now, but it was I realized, I was like, "Chalo, I'll sell tickets and do this event," and we had 70 people show up. And I was like, okay, I'm onto something, because people want to hear from other founders. People want to learn from others' experiences. There are so many F&B brands that want to know. And that's how this journey started. After doing about events for a year and a half, then I started doing a paid subscription group, which started at 1,000 rupees for the year, then 2,000 for the year, and now we're at 4,000 for the year. And in that, people get added to WhatsApp groups. We do about 2 events a month, and it's a great way to connect with people in business and learn. So we do events which are workshops, we do learning events, we do networking events, we do fun events, we do games, lots of different stuff just to meet new people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you think you have also evolved as a person? Obviously, you have, but you have changed. Like, पहले आप ज्यादा शाय थे, अब कम शाय हो गए. ऐसा क्या चेंज देखा आपने अपने आप में?
Oh, great question. I think yes, not only because of networking now, but I think that as a person, have seen so many people around me now, and I love learning. Maybe my one thing is I just love learning from other people, like just watching other people, how they do their business, how they run their business, how they talk in meetings. I'm like that. What do they say? Those people who love people watching at airports. I'm like that. I just learn from other people's energy. So yes, I think I've changed. I've started. I value myself more. I see myself opening my mouth a lot more and more confident in my ways. Also, number three, I realized that it's okay not to know. This is one thing. I always thought that I knew everything, but no, we don't know everything, especially in business. There's something to learn every single day, and there's something to learn from everyone. you know don't think that just because they're not the CEO of the company, they can't teach you anything. Somebody who's an intern, somebody who's at the lowest rung, and somebody who's at the mid rung can also teach you something which you need to learn. So that's one big change that's come into me, is that now I just go and meet people and share knowledge and exchange stories, because those are the best ways to learn.
Mm. Okay. But going to an event, even the thought of going to a networking event where most of the time I do not know anyone, it's nerve wracking. मतलब मुझे पहले से थॉट्स आने लगते हैं कि मैं वहाँ जा रही हूँ, मैं क्या बोलूँगी अगर लोगों को मुझसे बात करना अच्छा नहीं लगा. इफ़ आई गो टू समवन एंड दे विल इग्नोर मी हाय हेलो करके, मे बी दे विल लीव, और कुछ फ़ायदा नहीं हुआ. मतलब मैं बोलूँगी ही क्या? देयर आर thousands of thoughts in my head. और uh, it also comes from मतलब it also makes me anxious, तो जिसको social anxiety बोलते हैं. I have always been a socially awkward person, so to say. और अब मुझे जाना पड़ता है, जाना क्या पड़ता है, I push myself कि जाओ. तो आई हैव बीन टू अ फ्यू, पर अभी भी आई हैव क्वेश्चंस कि मैं क्या करूँगी वहाँ पे जाके. तो जो सबसे पहले चीज़ आती है कि मेंटली कैसे अपने आप को रेडी करें. जो प्रैक्टिकल चीज़ें हैं वो तो बाद में आएंगी, पहले तैयार ही कैसे करें अपने आप को कि यस, गो आउट. वो वी वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू.
This is a great question, and it's a question that I get quite often. Now, one, there's no real prep. I'll be very honest with you. When you know that you need to start going to networking events, is one, if you're launching a new business, if you're stuck in your business, if you don't have enough people in your work circle, do you have a lot of personal friends or family and people like that giving you advice? So try and go to events when you're at this stage, right? So either launching, mid-size, when you need new connects, when you want to form a work tribe, when you want an unbiased opinion from work people, right? And you want to be referred by other people. Now, how you can prep to go for these is one, you honestly just start. Okay. The second thing is you take a friend along. So take somebody who's not in the same business as you. Make sure that you take somebody in a pose like an opposite business, right? So if I'm going to a networking event, I won't take another networking founder. I'm also a small business coach, so I probably won't take a coach. I will take a, somebody into photography or website design or graphic design or printer, example.
Mm.
And don't only go once. This is the biggest thing. Don't think that, acha, I've gone Monday, I've got 150 business cards, I'll email them, I'll send a WhatsApp, my job's done. No. That also doesn't mean you need to put pressure on yourself to go every week, but
Mm.
try to go once a month. So, what I did now in the beginning, Maitri, I would schedule my Thursday evenings for this. So I knew Thursday evening I had to be at some event. So be it a work event, a workshop, an online Zoom class, a learning, somebody's giving a talk, a dinner of people I don't know who are not personal friends. This is slowly how I built my network. And trust me, Maitri, this is how genuine connections come in. Because I'm not going with the agenda ki, here's my business card, call me. When you have business more than 1 lakh, you give it to me. No,
Mm.
it's as simple as that. So, two major things, like I said, don't go with an agenda, and two, schedule it in your life without the agenda. So, hey, listen, I'm going to go for these networking events. Whatever comes out of it, whatever happens. Maximum, I had a drink, I had fun. Second, I made friends, I met new people, I learned even one good thing and came back. Chalo, work done. So, don't put pressure on yourself. But yes, push yourself to go. So, that's one thing. Like, don't pressurize yourself to go and say, hi, this is me, this is how, this is Shaan, this is my networking plan. No, go, keep it easy, keep it casual, and choose the networking event basis feedback. Ask people around you, is it casual, is it structured, what do you do there, how long do I have to be there, is it compulsory? And then whatever suits you, right, go for it. The other thing you can do if you don't want to go straight to a networking group or organization is ask your friends to introduce you to new people. This is a great way, and I've seen it happen. Like, what I do is sometimes when I meet up with some of the networking now girls, I do invite one or two people who are from out of Bombay, because then they ease into the conversation, they get to know the others, and now they've all become friends.
Mhm. Okay. Acha, what suggestion do you have for me, for someone like me actually, who is new to a city? Like I'm new to Bangalore. I do not know anyone here. I have no friends. I'm new to networking. So, what do I do? How do I start?
Lovely. I can't believe you said that Bangalore as well, because I just connected a bunch of people in Bangalore. I was there last week. And unfortunately, our event got cancelled, as you know. But we did a coffee. And we were about 8 people on the table. But what conversation? Lovely conversation. And the idea was that people came with time, with zero agenda, and with the idea to meet people. So all I told them is keep in touch. Once a month, even if I'm not here, just meet up. Just go and meet up. So the first thing you do is either join a networking platform like mine, or you ask friends of friends to connect you to people, and make it your Thursday rule, right? Every Thursday I'll try to go for coffee with one new person. I'll get onto Zoom with one new person. Find people like me, Maitri, ask me, Shan, connect me to two people in Bangalore. I want to make new friends. I want to meet new people. How do I do it? And trust me, I met these girls. It was so lovely because so basically you need to make the effort and you need to find the people that can connect you. So example, find me, right? Then message me. Shan, I want to meet people in this field, somebody decent, somebody who I can form a bond with, and I'll connect you. That's how it
Mhm.
works. So don't go in blind. Like, it can be quite unnerving to just go on a Facebook group and then meet up with people. But
Mhm.
find different trusted sources that can connect you to newer people in your city,
Mhm.
and join as
Okay.
many free resource groups and groups as you can. Example, Networking Now, or there are many others. Leap Club, Ladies Who Leap. There are many.
यस यस ओके. तो ठीक है, हम अपने आप को तैयार किया और हम इवेंट में पहुंच गए.
Yeah.
नाउ व्हाट डू वी डू? हमें, आई डोंट नो एनीवन. नाउ आई हैव डन माय रजिस्ट्रेशन. आई एम इन द रूम. नाउ
Yeah.
व्हाट शुड बी माय फर्स्ट मूव?
Okay, first, don't stand in the corner. So if you've gone alone and you've not taken a friend, okay. But if you're nervous, don't stand in a corner. Try to stand in the middle of the room. Put all your nerves together and just go and stand in the middle of the room. Okay, somebody will come and talk to you. It's a networking event. Don't forget, it's not a casual setting or a wedding. It's a networking event. They're all there for the same purpose. That's one big advantage. So go stand in the middle of the room, smile. Look around, smile. People will come and speak to you. Second, find one or two people, through their name tag, and you go and make the effort to talk. And the first question you can ask is, so have you been to one of these before? I've never been. Tell me how it works. Or, hi, so have you been to one of these before? Do you know anyone in this room? I'm looking to meet people like photographers, website developers, so. Please connect me. Find that person who can be, you can like go with, and they'll help you navigate the event. Secondly, maybe research the event before going so you know the kind of people coming and maybe you recognize them and then you can go and say, hey, hi, I'm Shaan. I've seen your work and it's brilliant. The minute you tell someone you've seen their work and it's brilliant and you know what they do, the conversation's more engaging. But the best thing, if you're somebody who's very nervous and somebody who finds it very difficult to go alone for networking events or events in general, take a friend.
हम्म। ओके। अब किसी ने मुझसे पूछा कि हाय मैत्री, व्हाट डू यू डू? हाउ डू आई टेल देम विदाउट साउंडिंग कि बस अपने बारे में बात करते जा रहे हैं विदाउट एनी, आई डोंट नो, या।
Okay, so when someone asks you what you do, and somebody asks you, hey, so Sean, tell me about yourself. I will not go into a huge 5 minute explanation because we're at an event. I will literally say my elevator pitch. Hi, I'm Shaan. This is what I do. This is who I am. It's my first time at this event. We work with brands like la 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 la. I will name those brands so that there's some familiarity and they know exactly what I do. Now, only when they say so, after I say so, by the way, tell me about you, and they tell me about themselves. And then they say, hey, so tell me more, know about your work, tell me what clients you're working on right now. This gives you the liberty to talk a little more about yourself. This gives the liberty to go more than the 1.5 minutes. Doesn't mean you go on for 10 minutes, but about 3 minutes is fine. You can talk a little bit more about your clients, what projects you're working on right now, what work has been interesting, what work you've done in the last 2 years, how you were brought to this event. So don't talk about the weather, don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics. Stick to the conversation you're there for. Don't ramble on, but have a ready introduction. Now, many people do this wrong. They go into events without practicing. I practice my introduction till today. Example, right now. Before coming onto this call, I literally sat for 2 minutes and said, hi, I'm Shaan, la, 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 this is what I do. Because every introduction will have 3 or 4 or 5 keywords. You need to remember those before you go into an interview, before you go into an introduction, because those 3 or 4 keywords will help the other understand what you do. If I just say I'm a networking platform, I could be
या।
networking for tech, I could be networking for billionaires, I could be networking for anything. So explain it well and make sure you have your keywords ready and your practice of your introduction done before you go to the event.
ओके। फिर फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शंस आर डन, फिर उसके बाद एक ऑकवर्ड सा पॉज आ जाता है। उसमें क्या बात कर सकते हैं?
Okay, there shouldn't be an awkward pause. Let's be honest. There shouldn't be an awkward pause when you're networking. If there is, excuse yourself and move to the side. Okay, if there's an awkward pause, excuse yourself and say, hey, I'll just be back. Let me quickly use the washroom and come. Hey, I spotted my friend. I'll just say hi and be back. So, are you here for the lunch meeting as well? Let's catch up on a one on one. Let's do it during the lunch. I'll just be back. Excuse yourself politely. Find an excuse yourself politely. Second, if there's an awkward pause, go ready with 5 or 6 questions. Now, this is another thing you should practice. 5 or 6 key questions that you can ask at a networking event, which are like, so what brings you here? Have you been to one of these events before? So tell me a little bit more about your work. What segment of clients do you have? Do you take on any clients? Where do you work out of? Where's your office? What kind of budgets do you work with? By the way, I might have someone that I can connect you with. Is this a good connect? Start showing the connect. So if you go ready with a few questions, there'll never be an awkward pause. Number two, find polite ways to excuse yourself. For example, don't be like, hey, my friend's there, let me go. No, hey, let me just quickly use the washroom, I'll be back. Or please excuse me, I see my friend, let me just say hi before the session begins. Polite ways to just excuse yourself.
हाँ, ओके, यही मैं पूछना भी चाह रही थी कि हाउ टू पोलाइटली मूव ऑन। और कई बार होता है कि वी आर टॉकिंग टू समवन एंड द कॉन्वर्सेशन इजंट गोइंग एनीवेयर, मतलब आपको शायद आपकी वाइब नहीं मिल रही है एक दूसरे से, तो भी आई थिंक वी कैन यूज दी सेम टिप्स।
Absolutely. If you're, if you don't, like I said, right, in face-to-face networking, the energy and the vibe, you'll know instantly. Is this energy and vibe matching? So what you got to do is, of course, please don't be rude. Whether it's matching or not matching, and you think you can't get business, or you don't want to be friends, or you don't want to stay in touch, please complete the conversation. That's polite networking. Also, Maitri, very often we forget that somebody could connect us somewhere, and we're just assuming they can't, but the best connections come in places where we just assume they can't. So just have that conversation. You just never know. Think about, you're just pitching to a whole room, and that they're one of them. So go slow, go steady, and don't be rude. But yeah, if the vibes don't match, hey, I'll just be back. Or the best thing, another thing to do, Matthew, is include a third person in the conversation. So if your eyes have matched with somebody else, and then come say, hi, why don't you join us? What do you do?
हाँ हाँ, दैट्स अ ग्रेट आइडिया।
Yeah. You add a third bucket.
यस, सो नाउ हमने बहुत सारी बातें कर ली कि क्या क्या करना चाहिए. आर देयर एनी मोर थिंग्स विच वी शुड कीप इन माइंड, लाइक हम नोनोज की बात भी करेंगे कि यार नहीं करना चाहिए,
Yeah.
बट और भी क्या ऐसी चीजें हैं जो हमें ध्यान रखनी चाहिए व्हेन वी आर एट सच एन इवेंट.
So you mean yeses or nos?
यस यस पॉज. यस.
Okay, so great question. The yeses at a networking event are match the vibe of the event. So always know the dress code before going. Always know the kind of people. Like, is it going to be boring for you? Like, yeah, listen, some people just sign up for events and they're like, oh, I don't understand anything here. This is tech or this is language or this. No, you need to know what the vibe of the event is. You need to know you need to know what the topic of the day is. What is the session being conducted? That's the other thing. And third, go with an open mind. This is the most important. Don't go closed. You've decided to spend your day here. Spend it knowing that you're going to gain something out of it. So even if you don't gain what you wanted to, you will learn something. So at every event, go prepared, do a little research and go, and make sure that when you're there, your full attention is on that event. Not somebody's talking to you and you're just thinking of what am I going to eat for lunch, what's my cousin doing, who's at home. No. If you're there, be fully there. You don't have to go back again, but be fully present.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then Shan, what are the no-nos for networking?
Absolute no-nos for networking is to first have expectations. Don't think networking happens overnight. You cannot get success by tomorrow. $1 million deal is not going to fall into your lap by tomorrow because you decided to go for a networking event today. Okay. Number two, don't be the person that stands in the corner of the room. So if you're shy, practice and go. If you're shy, take a friend and go. Uh, don't expect people to come and walk up to you. You need to have that thing that you'll say, hi, by the way, I'm Shan and lovely to meet you and tell me more about yourself. Practice that conversation. So key is practice and have no expectations. Other no-nos are many things in terms of etiquette. People go to events without dressing appropriately, without, they go and go by the bar and they get so nervous, they drink so much, people get drunk. That's an absolute no-no. You do not want to network with a drunk. This is a professional forum. Yeah, if there's alcohol, have one or two drinks within your limit. You don't need to be the drunk one unless it's your forum. You've known each other for long and, then it's a year long association. And the last thing which I would say is a complete no-no would be ghosting people. Don't take business cards and promise the moon and then not get in touch with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got
That's very annoying. You can drop one message, even if you don't want to connect with them later. Drop one message. Hello, this was me. Lovely to meet you. This is where I can be contacted. Close the deal. You never know what can come out of there.
यस. ओके, तो इवेंट खत्म हो गया, सब अपने अपने घर चले गए. हाउ डू वी कीप इन टच, हाउ डू वी नर्चर दैट रिलेशनशिप?
Nurturing the relationship is number one in networking because, like I told you in the beginning, right, Maitri, it's building a relationship. So nurturing this very relationship, connecting with them on social handles, connecting them with them on email, connecting and replying to their newsletters, making sure you say, hey, listen, I loved meeting you, let's do a one-on-one outside this. Would you like to meet for a coffee? Would you like to meet for a Zoom meet? I'd just love to know more about your business. If you find something, like I'll tell you, in my networking group, people find some interesting stuff and pass it on to each other. There was a grant for a scholarship, somebody passed it on to me, I actually got that grant. I'm so grateful. That person will always be on the top of my mind. So pass on things that you find relevant. If I find a good speaker for your podcast, I will suggest them to you. I'll say, hey, Maitri, have a look. This is a friend I can connect you. I met this person, found them really interesting. Why don't you guys connect? So these are a few ways which are informal, but also make a huge difference and make a mark with the other person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood. Wow. So far, so good. Like, very good, actually. I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm learning
Thank
a lot.
you. Thank you.
And now, Shan, tell us, what does success in networking look like? We know yes, no's, nurturing everything. Or iska jo ek, I know you said ki don't go with an expectation, but there should be some kind of success. जो हमें सोच के, it can be different from different people. So what do you think?
Great question. Now, see, in the beginning of the conversation, I told you that networking comes with no agenda. But networking has to have an end goal. Why are you networking? We're all not networking to go to kitty parties and sit down and just get to know new people. We don't have time. We barely have time to meet our own friends. Where's the time to network? But you're still building a bond, you're still building a relationship, and you're still building something more than a basic interaction. So, I would say success in networking is having a work tribe that stands up for you, a work tribe that knows has your best interests. So somebody that wants to see you succeed. If they find a grant, if they find a suggestion, if they find a good vendor, they'll be the first to suggest it to you, to give you an honest answer whether what you're doing is right or wrong. The latest ad you released, listen, it's terrible. Change it. These are my views. An honest opinion. Number two, I'm spending 4 lakhs on my marketing. Somebody to give you a run and say, hey, listen, meet two, three other people also. Na? I think you're overspending. Also, a network that goes beyond just a networking event. Your network is somebody that you should be able to meet for a coffee outside, should be able to have and exchange interesting thoughts and ideas and discussions, and people that are willing to let you introduce them to other people so that their network gets bigger. Now, success, according to me, in that sense, if you want one line, it's basically your work tribe that has your back and is somebody that is more than just a basic interaction. It has to be somebody that knows more about your business, more about you. Has to have the interest to say, listen, I really liked working with you or meeting you. I can't work with you right now, but let me introduce you to somebody else. So a relationship that's built over time. I know I'm still in touch with people that I met 15 years ago. I met them at an internship, but if they invited me to an event, I will make it a point to go because it's a big day for them. They are part of my network, and I know they do the same for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. So it's been interesting. So, nahi, nahi, sorry. I need a yes. Okay. तो नेटवर्किंग के बारे में हमने बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीख ली एंड डू यू थिंक शान के बुक्स या ब्लॉग्स बहुत सारे रिसोर्सेज हमें मिलते हैं वो हेल्प करते हैं लाइक आई हैव रेड अ फ्यू बुक्स एंड हैव रेड फ्यू आर्टिकल्स ऑल्सो तो डू यू थिंक दे हेल्प एंड इफ दे डू यू हैव एनी रिकमेंडेशंस
I'm a huge YouTube fan. I watch a lot of interviews on YouTube. I like more listening. Like Oprah is my god. I listen to every interview and every podcast of hers. But same for networking. Till today, I listen to every interview of a founder, of a CEO, in conversation with somebody. I'm talking about Indian founders as well. I watch every episode of Shark Tank. I think that these are places you can learn. You learn how to network. You learn how to be a founder, a leader. You learn how to run your business. You learn the do's and don'ts. Reading, I don't read as much, so I'm not going to recommend a book. But a book that changed my life is the Atomic Habits one. That's something that I read once
Yeah.
and I've not left. It's by my bedside. I literally open pages every day to remind myself. But I'm not a huge reader. But YouTube interviews, founders, I watch and listen to them all. A lovely one this morning was of Roger Federer giving a speech at a college, the college pass outs, and wow, I was just blown away. And it taught me so much about my own business. It taught me so much about the founder I need to be in my everyday. So do what suits you. If you're a reader, find the books to read. Read people's stories. Read The Shoe Dog. I've read The Shoe Dog, the Nike book. It's a fabulous book. Phil Knight. It's a fabulous book. So I do read on and off, but I'm very, very intrigued by founders, journeys, how they started, why they started, and where their journey has led them. Even the Amazon book, a great one. But yes, watch as many documentaries as you can, watch as many YouTube interviews, makes all the difference.
ओके वैल्यू लेने की कोशिश करते रहना चाहिए चाहे वो किसी ऐसे
Yes.
रिसोर्स से हो या फिर किसी आपके नेटवर्क ओके तो शान नेटवर्किंग से आते हैं शान खन्ना की तरफ एंड वी वांट टू नो नाउ one of the sassiest things you have done something that shifted your perspective and maybe changed your life also.
Sassiest thing I've done, I don't know. But let me tell you, I mean, it's a different thing, right? Like, so I think COVID was the time that changed the game for me because I was very stuck in my work and I felt very like I'm doing the same thing. What now? And I lost my grandmom at that time. That was a very, very trying time for me. But that kind of changed me as a person. That's a pivot I saw hugely. That's a time that I know that like my whole perspective, even my work game changed. I took on a more positive outlook. I was like, I have to make this for myself. I have to do this. Life is short. I'm losing people. People are losing people. What is going on? I want to make a difference in people's lives. And I think last year, I had fallen sick. I had this disease called GBS, Guillain-Barre syndrome, if I hope I'm saying it right. But basically, you lose all sensation in your nerves. So I had lost everything in my hands and legs. That has changed me immensely. Metri, today I'm like a hopping bunny. I'm like ready to be. There's work, I will go left. There's work, I'll go right. If I have to meet somebody new, I'll do it. Though it taught me that I need to slow down and chill and work can happen. But I think my mind opened up because I was stuck at home for 3 months. So I was just watching so much, reading so much. I came out with this gusto of energy of wanting to learn and go and do and connect people. So I think two big instances of my life were the time during COVID And of course, when I fell sick last year, and I realized that now only person who can help me is me, and that's one thing that changed my shift in perspective.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So it's
so
not
this was
sassy. I'm giving you something sadder, but it's not sassy, but it
नहीं,
changes
it's
it.
not. I think बहुत सारे लोग बड़ी बड़ी चीजें सोचने लगते हैं जब मैं उनसे क्वेश्चन पूछती हूँ, बट आई थिंक our sass lies in little things we do.
Absolutely.
Or
Absolutely.
what you did is not little. Let me tell you that it's huge. Or Shan, I really enjoyed talking to you. And we already know what you do, but still tell us a little more about your work and how can people connect with you?
Sure. So I'm essentially a small business coach and a networking coach. I even teach networking. So if somebody wants to know how to network better, I run a course. I help small businesses kick off, like if they're looking for connects, the right vendors, some marketing ideas, a brainstorm. I sit with them one on one for the same. Secondly, I run a networking platform called Networking Now India. We're a WhatsApp based platform, and it's 4,000 for the entire year. You get added to a WhatsApp group, you introduce yourself. There are about 3,000 other entrepreneurs that you can meet in different cities. We do 2 events a month in Bombay, and I encourage that if you are going to join the platform, please come to our events, because there's nothing better than meeting like minded professionals face to face, like minded business entrepreneurs face to face. We often get lost in the thing of, I'll send my introduction on WhatsApp and something will happen. But the reason I curated this platform is for the offline aspect. That's really the magic of it. I'm also a co founder in a beautiful concept called Soundrise. It's a musical initiative by three friends and me. We're all co founders. We do live music gigs at the park, independent musicians in the forefront. And this is something that fell into my lap about 3 years ago. And I'm extremely grateful for it, because I have learned so much about music and community building. And of course, I'm a co founder at Spicy Sangria, which is with my mom. We do trade shows all over India with leading designers and up and coming designers to help them with a platform to kind of reach newer customers. So I think, in a sense, if you ask me, my tagline will be, it's all about community.
Yes, yes, that is very much visible, and I really appreciate इतनी सारी चीजें आप कर रहे हो.
Thank
And
you.
Shan, what's the best way to connect with you?
The best way is Instagram at Networking Now India. I'm fully on the Instagram and very active. And come to our events. I try to make it to as many of our events in person that I can. Also, Instagram. It's the best way. I'm very active and fully love seeing what everyone's up to.
And thank you, Shan, for being on Little Fixes, for giving us your time, for sharing your insights. I'm really thankful to you, and I'm sure the listeners are as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Maitri.
अगर आपको ये एपिसोड वैल्यूबल लगा तो प्लीज हेल्प लिटिल फिक्सेस रीच मोर पीपल बाय शेयरिंग इट विद समवन यू केयर अबाउट. यू कैन ऑल्सो गिव अस अ शाउट आउट ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. मेरा हैंडल है @littlepixespodcast. दिस हेल्प्स मी इन ग्रोइंग द पॉडकास्ट और बहुत सारे और लोगों की हेल्प भी होती है इसको सुन के. आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर योर टाइम. अब मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वेडनेसडे को. तब तक के लिए खुद से प्यार करते रहो और सदा सैसी रहो. बाय. When I started this podcast in 2019, I didn't know much about the tools available and struggled with poor audio quality, blurry videos, and even losing the recording. Now I have switched to Zencaster. Zencaster not only gives me high quality audio and video podcast production, but also keeps the recording safe with its multi-layer backups even when the internet is unstable. It has a post-production feature which automatically removes sounds like and also reduces background noise with a click of a button. Go to zencaster.com/pricing and use my code LFP and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Zencaster is free to try and their hobbies plan is always free.